all sorts of headlines coming out of the weekend. But without further delay, we're going to go ahead and go now to none other than the recently crowned two-time, say it 2 times, GNCC champion, Ben Kelley. Ben, what's going on, man?
Not too much, just chilling, recovering,
I hear you, dude. Thanks.
enjoying being the champ, I guess.
There you
Your
go.
hair looks good anyway today. That's nice. Did it for us.
Yeah, I figured I could have probably put a hat on or something, but
That's all right. We
we're
enjoy it.
good.
Nah, let the lettuce hang, brother.
Yeah.
If you turn your phone sideways,
Oh, my
that
bad.
helps a little bit get it in there. No worries. Thanks for taking the time for joining us and coming on to chat about it, dude. What a crazy few weeks it's been. What a crazy post summer break it's been. Came down to the wire, but has it sank in yet? Today's Tuesday. We're 2 days removed. You are the first two-time champion other than Caleb Russell since 2012. 13 years it took for someone to win a second one. Has it sunk in yet, man? How's it feel?
Yeah, it's definitely sunk in. Definitely pretty crazy. Super proud of the effort for sure, and to be two-time champ, especially after the past few years I've had after winning my first one. But yeah, pretty cool. Put my name on the record books again, and just you know, I don't know. Like I said, after all these injuries, it's good to get the job done again and do it for KTM since they've backed me through all those years of injury.
Heck yeah. And after that first one, dude, you came out swinging 6-0 to start the next year, end up going down with the leg injury. Is he going to make it back after summer break? Is he not? We keep talking about it. If you could come on and make another run at it, and then ended up getting another surgery, I think, that year. But is it relieving to kind of get this one, like a little bit of redemption from that season and kind of get back to that top step?
Yeah, I guess so. It's weird because honestly, it feels like that was so long ago at this point, and
Yeah.
just I don't know. It's a long grind for sure. And when I first broke my leg there, yeah, I had a huge lead in the points. So after summer break or leading into summer break, I was only, I don't know, I was still in the battle. So I was thinking, oh man, yeah, I got all summer break, I'll have 3 or 4 months. Yeah, maybe I could be back, but that's just not how it worked. My leg was broken really bad. And also I had the shoulder injury as well. And like that leg break just took forever. It took 8 months. And even when the doctor was like, yeah, you're good to start riding again, I look at the x-rays and I'm like, I mean, I'm no doctor, but if I looked at it, it looks broken still. But
Yeah.
and it still hurts like hell to walk, to bike, to do anything, let alone ride a dirt bike. And I don't think many people know how gnarly it is to ride a dirt bike. And even us, like we don't know until like how much abuse like our joints and bones and how much we can like take until like it's taken away from you. So yeah, it was gnarly. And like I said, whatever, I was just gonna go into that 2023 season and try to get it done. But yeah, injuries just continued on, and those were the cards I was dealt.
Dude, and yeah, real quick, I did my tib fib, I think 6, 7 months before yours, and it's like you hear the chatter, and it's like, man, it sounds great in theory, but my leg still gives me trouble now, and I'm not racing dirt bikes professionally,
Yeah,
so it's a
yeah,
gnarly one for sure.
it's definitely gnarly. Like nowadays, when people break their femurs, they're like, it's like, oh yeah, all right, that's a good thing. You got all that muscle around. It'll heal fast. You see people come back from that in 3 months. But yeah, something about the lower leg. I don't know. Just yeah, it doesn't get as much blood flow or something. Just makes it tough. And I mean, luckily now my leg is pretty good. My leg is solid. Like I don't really have any issues with it. Just a huge lump on it still from
Yeah.
where all the calcification occurred, or who knows what really.
Yeah.
Uh, can't honestly get much answers about that, but I don't really care as long as it feels all right. So yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
Just one of those things where it's an gnarly sport, and that's what I'm saying. Like you got to just try to make the most of every opportunity because even when things are going perfect for you, you just never know.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it looks like you did make that kind of make a big of a comeback. So we're looking at the people you're tied with now. U-Haul Salmonem, I think I pronounced that correctly.
Close
David
enough.
Knight and Paul Whibley. So those are the guys you're tied with. They each have 2 championships. And like for me growing up, I think we're about the same age anyway. Those were the guys I was watching on the Racer X videos they put out, or the Moto Tees, whatever it was at the time, the GNCC show. So I think that's super cool because those are the guys everyone said were unstoppable whenever we were watching when we were younger. and now you're tied with them. So that's pretty gnarly to me too.
Yeah, for sure. I'm pumped on that. Even back in 2022 when I went on that win streak, like I'm tied for the most consecutive wins with David Knight and Yuha for six, which is pretty cool because yeah, those are guys I've looked up to, and even Antti, like who was our team manager back then, he was Yuha's mechanic for a time, so like that's just a cool coincidence, and yeah, something to be proud of, and yeah, I mean it's cool. Pump for sure. Like you said, those are guys I've looked up to, and seen like old DVD videos of racing 6 days, and then even GNCC. Like back then, it was like European guys would come in, race GNCC for 2 years, sweep up and then head out. But it's cool now. We still have lots of talent coming from other countries, which is sick to know that we have like this big series that draws the crowd and draws the talent from everywhere else. And it's just harder nowadays that I feel like the Americans are good riders now too. So it's not as, I guess, common as it used to be back then for like the factory teams to try to pick top riders from other countries.
Right on. We were actually talking about Auntie last show a little bit. And I was just telling some stories I'd heard. Did he race? He raced too. He raced with, I believe, U-Haul before he got hurt. He was racing for KTM before. Is that correct? Do you know that? I think we talked about that some.
Yeah, I don't know the full story, but as far as I know, I think he was like Finnish motocross champion of some sort like that until he, hurt his ankle. Whether that's like the injury that sidelined him or not, but yeah, I definitely heard he was no slouch on a dirt bike. So it's good when you can have someone as a part of the team or a mechanic that knows like how to ride really good. It's just easier to relate with them when you're talking about when it comes to testing or riding, or whether you have a good race or a bad race. They just have more understanding for sure than just looking at results on a page or technical data.
Yeah, same thing with your team manager now. I think Timmy Wygant is the team manager. So
Yeah, yeah,
also remember looking at like Dirt Bike Magazine when I was younger, and he was racing Cowies in the
yeah,
Works NGPC series or whatever it was at the time. So yeah, and same thing with all the teams. Most of the time, you have a really good rider moves up, he gets out of the race, and he goes up to team manager, off-road director, whatever on he is now. So it's good seeing that trickle down and everybody helping. Even like Rodney Smith coming over to Beta. It's good to see all the riders kind of have a place later on sometimes to go to keep helping with the series.
yeah, for sure. I mean, we all started just because we're passionate about the sport and we like it, and even me now getting older, I like think it's cool. I would like to do something once I retire from racing, to be a part of it and kind of use the knowledge that I've learned to give back essentially to the sport and help, the crop of riders that come up behind me. But yeah, just a thought, obviously, and I think it's good that past professionals and whatnot stick with the sport and keep the love for it. They don't just disappear, and some guys that are still riding for fun, and yeah, that's kind of how I want it to be for myself.
Man, I don't want to put you on the spot, but you kind of just sparked my interest with you just saying that. I mean, you got like Randy Hawkins, been at Ampro for a long time. Now you got Stu doing his thing with the team. Now you got Strang as a rider, team manager, Fred Andrews. I mean, you look up and down. We talked about Timmy and Auntie, like Anthony, even like you look up and down pro row and see all these guys that are in these team management roles and even some in team owner roles. And you kind of mentioned it a little bit there. Have you put any thought into what kind of route you would want to go to give back and share that knowledge? Is it a team manager role, or is it kind of working for a manufacturer? And like I said, I know I was putting you on the spot. It's just
Nah, it's cool. I haven't thought about it a lot, honestly. Pretty much what I told you is about the extent of it.
yeah.
Would like to do something, do
Yeah.
something for a time in the industry. Not really. I mean, like a lot of things do interest me, but you just gotta see where I am at in life at that point and see what my goals are. But yeah, just something to be a part of it and give back, and like I said, help if I can, I feel like I can offer something to help the kids, coming up through the ranks, or, new riders to the pro class or XC2, whatever it may be.
No, absolutely. Now, a two-time XC2 champ, a two-time overall champ. got all sorts of knowledge to give back there. But about Ironman this weekend, man, it looked like a fast track. I think it was dustier than anyone thought it could be. Just because the rain at the beginning of the week, didn't expect the fields to be as dusty as they were, and it kind of seemed like a lot of like square edge bumps got throughout the track, and it was on the faster side. Um, how was it? Like you started out front, running up towards the front, and then kind of went into a maintain mode, especially after finding out Grant was out, but still putting in a solid ride there, man. What was the weekend like at Ironman coming into it, and then I guess was there any changes in expectations versus reality once the green flag flew?
Yeah, so coming in, I knew the conditions were going to be a little dry, which I wasn't stressed about because I didn't think it was going to be like a full on dust race, which it wasn't. And like when we raced at the Ironman facility for Hoosier earlier in the year, it was similar conditions, I would say. It was hard packed, dry, fast, and I had a good race there. Grant and I, battled. Um, so I had a good feeling coming into it. And, after running up front at the Penton and then making some mistakes and not having a good race, but then coming off the line and seeing Grant there under the rig, wrapped up, and I was like, damn. And so kind of had some luck there, unfortunately, for him. So it got me back in the fight. And yeah, I just went into that race expecting that he was going to line up and be ready to go and be his best self. So my expectations were that I was going to have to win the race for sure because he's going to be up there on the podium, and I was going to need some luck, need the other guys to be having a good day and to get in the mix. And that's kind of just how I went into the day. I just focused on myself and did my own thing and got a decent start, was there in third and knew I was in front of Grant, or I was fourth maybe behind Johnny, I think. And I knew I was in front of Grant, and I made a move on Johnny there late in the first lap and got into third and could see Mike and Jordan, and I was right there. So I just did my thing for the first couple laps and was feeling comfortable. Um, and I felt like I could go to the front, but it was tough. We're all like really close in speed on a track like that. And it was definitely a little dustier than I think we were expecting going into it. So you really had to like get super close to the guy in front of you and ride in their dust and time the pass, and you were going to be blind for a while just to get close enough to make the pass and then obviously risk it to get by that person. And Jordan's definitely not one of the easier guys in the class to pass. And
Yeah.
yeah, he fights for it, which obviously I respect. I'd be the same way. So yeah, just kind of stayed there, and I was getting some pit boards that Grant was dropping back a bit, and I was still right there. So I was kind of just gonna ride around there, honestly, and maybe save some energy and make a push that last hour, but never got to that point. Did my pit and I think found out after that maybe that Grant was out. But I don't know, maybe lap four. I was still right there behind Jordan, and I wanted to win that race, honestly. Like I felt good, wanted to have like a good podium at least. And so I was still right there on Jordan, trying to make moves at times and just staying. Maybe I was just a little too close a lot of times, just sucking in the dust. And like I was still, ripping the silt berms, I guess, trying to go fast, doing what I felt like I need to do to go fast on that track. And yeah, the bike must have clogged up the air filter or sucked a little dirt or something. I don't really know because it bogged down, it got deep, and was starting to shut off on me. So I was having to rev the bike to keep it going. And of course, that stresses me out because I'm like, well, damn, I still got to finish this race if I'm going to win this championship. I got to get some points. And with how good everyone is riding nowadays, it's not easy, Like at the end of the day, I ended up 10th, and it's like I didn't have that many problems and I rode good. So it's wild. Just yeah, luckily I was able to communicate with the team, get the air filter and drop back a few positions, but it was enough to where I still had enough points, and a little stressful for sure, but I've been in that position before, I guess. I was confident I could get it done, but yeah, definitely not like a super exciting way to end the season. Um, Obviously, wish Grant would have been healthy and we could have battled it out and it could have been a better show because it's been really good leading up to like summer break. We were battling a lot. We had a lot of good races where, I beat him by just fractions of a second and vice versa. And yeah, I think we kind of were just, feeding off each other and definitely pushing each other to be better. And he was getting the better of me for sure. After summer break, those first few races, he was just making the most of whatever the rule changes and just executing, doing his thing. And I was having kind of I don't know, few off races. And unfortunately, our sport is gnarly and it caught him out and he had a crash. And whether he made a mistake or not, it's just one of those things where it just happens. We're all going so fast and things just happen. You might not even know it. And next thing you know, you're on the ground. And that's one of those things that happened to him, unfortunately. But he's super young and I know he'll bounce back and we'll be battling for years to come, hopefully. And hopefully I can be better and stay up it there in the mix. And yeah, still at the end of the day, I had a really good season. And like I said, the first 3 quarters of it was really good. Last 4 races or so, not the best, but did what I needed to do, played it smart, and got the championship. So can't be mad at all.
Yeah, no, for sure. And so you said a lot of things. There's so many questions that
Yeah, there's too much to talk about.
There's so much that I want to get into, but kind of just starting first things first. Like, this isn't the first time you've been in this situation going to Ironman. 2021, like you and Stu, it was kind of who beats who. And then comes into it this year, same thing. You and I guess teammate, KTM teammate, and you guys spent a lot of time training together at club and stuff, coming into it again this year. So when it comes down to it, championship on the wire, going down to the last race, obviously the first time around, insane mutter, water everywhere. What's going to happen? This time, like you said, a little bit of dust, but by no means I don't think a dust race, but it did play a factor with the air filter change and stuff. Coming down to it, is like, is there any more nerves involved in that situation, or are you kind of trying to approach it like another race and kind of shake off everything else that entails with it?
Just another race, I guess. I mean, obviously there's more pressure, so maybe a little more focus in certain areas, but I don't know, we could talk back to 2021 when it was that crazy mutter. Like, I feel like if it wasn't a championship to be decided between Stu and I, they probably would have canceled that race. I don't, I don't think anyone can really refute that. It was insane.
It was bad.
But definitely glad that we got to race it. And I think maybe after that year is when they started doing the rain date or something. But yeah, in that moment, I like remember back. I look back even at videos of people coming up and like fist bumping me on the line or something, and I don't even remember that. Like I didn't even register. It was like I was so focused and just locked in and looking forward. It's like I was like looking through those people, and even now this year too, like I just like had a calm about myself all weekend. I don't know why. Just like never had a doubt. Same with back then when I battled with Stu and I had a lead and then he just chipped away at it that whole year and then even caught the lead at times and then I wrestled it back. I know I just never had a doubt. I just was confident I would get it done, I guess. And I had that going into this weekend for some reason, just the same thing. Just felt calm, like slept good Friday and Saturday night and it just I don't know, just worked out. Like I said, I don't know, something about it. I'm just pretty good under pressure, I guess, or something, or just don't let things get to me. Just I don't know. When things happen, I'm just not like a frantic person to freak out in general. So I just kind of when things happen, I just work the steps and I just try to solve the problem. So
Yeah.
I think the kids call it having that dog in them. I think that's what they're saying nowadays. Just being a
I don't know.
badass son of a bitch.
That's when you just fight to the end, I guess.
Oh, yeah.
No, it's cool because I see your dad a lot on the track. So, like, I always, like, when I'm riding around filming, like, every time I see him, it's, like, always checking in, like, thumbs up, like, looking good. Like, it's funny kind of progressing throughout the race and having him there chasing you around and stuff. But you kind of talk about this year and kind of going back and forth, and the lead change has changed a few times. And I think the biggest difference now over the past 2 seasons, we've never seen XC2 riders getting in the mix like they are right now. And that became a big part of this whole overall points deciding the thing or the championships and all that. So this year you got 5 XC1 wins, 2 of those being overalls. So what's the different dynamic with this year, knowing that you're kind of racing the ghost of the whole second row and not being able to physically have them on track, and then summer break kind of messed around, put everyone everywhere and tried a few different things. But how much of a different dynamic is that when you're holding that number 1 plate and you're out in front and you're leading XC1, but you have no idea what the time is other than pit boards and people telling you?
Yeah, it's definitely strange, I guess, something new, but nothing I was really worried about. Just like I said, I just kind of go out there and I race the track every time. Obviously, there's like some tactics you have when you're racing against people, but like I just mainly focus on racing the track and going as fast as I can around that track for 3 hours. It's easy to like worry about too many other people, but it's simple. Like they say, you can't control what other people do. You can only control what you can control. So that's what I focus on. And I don't know. Just kind of talked to the team, I guess, once we kind of knew that the XC2 guys were going to be there till the end. Just added it to the plan to keep tabs on them, and that's kind of what we did. For sure, at the mud races, being on the second row is a little bit of an advantage because we're breaking the line in. But then again, at a dust race, it's for sure a disadvantage to be on the second row. So kind of, I feel like at the end of the season, it all works out to where it just evens out. Um, it just so happened we had a lot of mud races at the beginning of this year, and then also that the top 5 or so XC2 guys, especially the top 3 with Grant, Cody, and Gus, they showed they could be on the overall podium and win races. So they've really stepped the game up, and they're just good. I feel like they're just good riders at this point, and with the sport of GNCC growing and the manufacturers having more support, it just makes it more of a professional thing, I guess, now, to whereas the XC2 riders are just as dialed in as the XC1 guys. So it's one of those things where it's definitely good to have 2 classes. I don't think they should change that. They need the 250 class and the open class. It's more opportunity for more people to race. I guess at the end of the day, the only thing that would really help would be to make more incentive to race XC1. That way people are enticed to move up, where right now there's not really much enticing you to move up, similar to like Supercross, motocross, where they have older guys in the 250 class. It's just, yeah, you're going to make more money to be a top 3 XC2 guy than you are to be a 4th or 5th place XC1 guy. So it's kind of a no-brainer. It's one of those things you got to do what makes sense financially for yourself. And obviously everyone wants to be XC1 and be at the top. So the goal is to, win XC2 obviously and move up. But yeah, it's just one of those things now where you got good riders in both classes, and we all race different series against each other, and we all train with each other. So, we're all so close nowadays. It's just one of those deals where, like I said, the XC2 guys are pretty much, Grant showed it. He's just as good as all of us this year.
Yeah. It's definitely, like I said, added a whole new dynamic to it. And kind of to that point, like XC2, like brands want to get their 250 bike out there and show that in a premier class, and then show their 350s and 450s in a premier class. So definitely no going away with it. But yeah, with just like with what Toth's been able to do, T-Rex to kick off Big Buck, the stuff Grant's been doing, Cody getting in the mix now, Gus too, like it's just added a whole other dynamic, like as a fan and for you guys as a competitor. But I think the one cool thing to point out is this is the first year that I can remember in quite some time where we've seen way more riders on the front row than XC2. I mean, years past, there's been 5 or 6 guys on the XC1 row, and then 20, 30 in XC2. So it's cool to kind of see more people moving up, and now we're even maybe potentially seeing people elect to move up without being forced out from the championship rule. And yeah, I think it's just escalating the level of competition throughout. But Big Tom's got a question for you.
What's up, BK?
What's up?
Congratulations on the championship, man. I'm sure y'all went over that already, but I was running behind.
Yeah, no, thanks, dude.
I got a question. So you mentioned a minute ago that the rule changes kind of in the middle of the year with the start with XC2 guys moving up and whatnot. One, being in the middle of that championship and the battle with Grant, what kind were your thoughts on that? And T-Shep just mentioned it with having more guys on the front row. Those two races, there was, 20, 25 guys on the front row? What was that like? And then, like I said, what were your thoughts on that rule change mid-season?
Yeah, so I don't know how it got brought up, honestly. I
We
just
do.
know.
We
might
know
have
how it got
started
brought
that.
up.
Well, I don't know who's requesting for the rule change. Essentially,
Yeah.
I don't know who would
In the
think
middle
like.
of a season, it's a little crazy.
Looking back now, yes, of course, I think I probably should have spoke up and been like, I don't want that to happen. But at one point, I just remember Timmy texting me like saying, "Hey, GNCC reached out. This is what they're thinking," and I'm like, I didn't really have many thoughts. So I'm just like, all right, whatever. Like,
They're going to do it anyway.
not really. I mean, I just thought, whatever. I just need to beat Grant and all the XE2 guys no matter what. So what do I care if they're on the first row or not? I didn't think about the fact that we've already had these mud races that where they had a slight advantage. So like we came to Buckwheat and like we did that race and they asked me afterwards. I'm like, yeah, I'm cool with it, whatever. Like I got beat by a couple XE2 guys, but I was like, whatever, I don't really care. I just needed to be better. Like conditions were good, so we could make passes and all this stuff, whatever. And then we do it at the next race and it's a dust race and I was just mad at myself for not doing better, not getting a good start. Whereas you see like Grant got the whole shot and just checked out and boom, he like executed, got the job done. So then thinking back after that, I was like, damn, if I spoke up and was like, nah, I don't want, I don't want everyone to start on the first row. Sure, maybe just seeing in that dust race, I just don't think anyone could move through the pack there. So that would have been a race where maybe it evened out. But who knows? That's what you can't go back and change what happened. All I know is I don't know why people would think going to the front row would make it harder, because the way I look at it, or make it harder on Grant is what I'm trying to say. Like starting on the second row is only an advantage at a mud race. And it's not even that it's not like a massive advantage because once he catches XC1 guys, he still has to pass all of them. So it's not crazy. It's not like it's handing him the race, and then so like me looking at it, once we got late into the season, I knew the overall championship was Grant's goal. So he's going to try to wrap up XC2 as soon as he can so he can move up to XC1 and start on the front row because that's going to give him the best chance to win the overall championship. So putting them on the front row early is just essentially expediting that. So I don't know. I don't know how it got brought up. I don't know who was complaining and wanting XC2 on the front row, and then I don't know who was complaining and wanting them put back to 2 rows. I just stayed out of it and was like, whatever happens, happens. I'm just going to try to win no matter what. Like, I don't want to have my decisions affect the championship, essentially. Like, I just want to go out there and race, and whoever wins, wins.
So, I mean, from that competitive standpoint, and kind of the first one was like top 20, then you had 4 or 5 on row 2, and then the next one we're like, forget a row 2, let's just put everybody on the front row. And then the next
just
one,
because you got 4 guys on row 2, it's like,
Yeah.
what's the point of that?
Yeah.
So I understand, but
yeah, move them up.
That
But
was kind of goofy looking.
but then you got a dust race, and whoever gets a bad start is going to be 2 minutes back, 2 miles into the race.
yeah, like Beckley, there was no passing. It was pretty much where you started is where you finished.
Yeah.
But from a competitive standpoint, I guess, which way did you prefer it? Like, did you want to beat Grant like the normal way? I don't want to say easier. That's the definite wrong word to use. But do you feel like you had a better chance or better advantage starting next to him and like racing straight up? Like, am I in front of him? Yes, I'm winning. Or with him on the XC2 row where you got that minute to play with?
I don't know. I guess it depends. I guess it just really depends, So like what race was it? Tennessee, when I jumped the gun on the start, so I came around, I shut the bike off obviously, and then I was last XC1, basically finished the first lap last in XC1, and they pulled me over to stop me for 30 seconds. And the second they pulled me over, Grant was right on me already, so he passed me, handful of other XC2 guys. And so that race, I had to like work my way past him, all the XC1 guys, and also put a minute on him. So there's one where I worked from the back and won. But then you got to race a few races like I think it was Camp Coker and Mason Dixon, where it was like he was always like pretty much a minute behind me, maybe a little less, and had the overall, and then at times where I had it. So that was like racing the ghost basically. And then you got to race like Hoosier, where he ran me down, caught me, the second to last lap, and was right on my rear wheel, and I rode as fast as I could, and I couldn't shake him. And at that point, I let him by for that last lap because, I mean, I was getting sketchy and everything and giving it all I had, and I couldn't shake him. I'm like, well, I'm not gonna pull him in on this last lap, so just take the second place here and have him tow me to the finish. So it's all just comes down to different circumstances, but yeah, I don't know. I guess I don't really have a super stern opinion on it. Just
Yeah. Well, I mean,
looking forward to racing next year when he's in XC1. So.
yeah, you don't gotta worry about it. But yeah, it kind of goes back to what you've been kind of talking about this whole time. Like, it seems like you have this real calm under pressure, this real ability to kind of focus on what you're there to do. And I mean, I respect the hell out of that. To be at the high level that you are, to be able to just kind of, it sounds like shut the world off and kind of go out there and worry about your race and see how the rest of it pans out, man. That takes a lot because we see time and time again, there's a lot of head cases in any sport, but there's some out there as well that the kind of emotions can get the best of them. So it's really cool for you to, like I said, 2 XC2 championships, 2 overall championships, and have that ability to kind of focus on what you're there to do, and it just speaks to your mental game.
Yeah, definitely. And like you said, it's new. It's a new thing happening for GNCC too. So they're trying to figure it out. They're trying to make everyone happy, all the teams, all the riders. So it's like, I don't know. There's not really a good perfect solution. Maybe I think I think they have. I think how they have it set up is how they should be doing it. And sure they tried something different, and yeah, it didn't work out. But at the end of the day, for me, I'm not mad because here I am on the championship. So for me, it worked out in the end, and
Yeah,
is what it is. We'll just move forward.
it all came out in the wash.
Yeah.
Yeah. What you gonna do to celebrate?
I don't know.
Maybe same thing as last time. Bush light at the Mexican restaurant with some buddies.
I don't know. We'll see. I still got a race this weekend, so. But
Yeah.
we got last National Enduro.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Yeah, but nah, man, I didn't do much celebrating Sunday night because feeling pretty dead and beat up after GNCC. I don't know if I'm the only one, but usually feeling like being curled up in the fetal position. But yeah,
We
had a
need
couple drinks at the Mexican restaurant with the team and some
Right
friends and family,
on.
and
There
yeah,
it is.
just
we need
enjoyed
to
it.
we need to rally the troops for a night in Charlotte again.
Yeah, we could do that.
I'm down.
What would it take to get a
Hey.
Saturday morning brown ride out of you?
I got a limo driver take us to Charlotte and back.
He does have a limo driver. He also has a school bus with a stripper pole driver. So we can figure it out.
The dealer show in Charlotte, that was a good time.
Yeah, well, I'm sure all those vehicles will be breaking down on us.
Brother,
halfway there,
easy
but
now. I don't.
No stress.
None of my shit breaks down.
Whatever you say,
The
bro.
limo,
It's-
limo is solid.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
he only keeps stuff for 2 or 3 weeks, so he sells it before it breaks. It's
Easy.
always on the verge of breaking down, but
So-
they just make it the next guy's problem.
The limo's pretty solid, but the right airbag doesn't build up as much as the left. So you kind of got to watch where you position the bigger people, and you can't have more than 10 grown men in there. You got to have it's got to be
A couple women, hopefully.
Well, yeah. So, yeah, or just some skinny women anyway. It's not any big girls. So you gotta load them quietly, just so you don't mess up the damn weight and balances in it.
Yeah,
Somewhere.
for sure. I'd be down for a brown ride too. Got to get my hands on a 2-stroke maybe for some fun off-season riding, and
Ooh.
I've still never been up there. So
What?
You've never been to Brown?
yeah,
Dude.
nah, just Brushy. That's the only spot I would go when I'd go like
Brushy's
trail riding.
ass compared to Brown.
Yeah, Brushy can suck dicks for sure.
Hey,
When's
I
Toad
like
get
Tyler
back on
Mole.
the
It's a
bike?
good time. I don't know.
You know?
You two would know.
I don't know. I saw him recently, and he mentioned off-season riding at Brown as well. So I think he's got his mind set up on riding this. I don't know, November,
you talking
December or
about?
something.
We
Who
went
knows?
we went last December with him up there and had a good day.
Oh, he's got a
Oh.
300 for you. You can ride it too.
No. I've seen his garage. He's got a little bit of everything.
He said his two-stroke for the winners, that 03 KX from Jake, the one I saw
Yeah.
Jake. He said
He was going through it actually a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, he was trying to fit a fan, so he has a KX 250F fan. He was trying to put on there and it wouldn't fit,
Yeah.
so he got on Temu and got a medium-sized fan kit, and it's like this big. It's like the size of a damn maybe
Just
2
gonna
inches.
kill the battery and
Yeah, I
that'll
mean,
be it.
It's
all
a
you hear.
03. You said it was a 03 125?
03 KX 250.
Oh, they don't have a battery.
He's
Yeah.
going to have to fab one up. He had it all figured out, he says.
Can you not run that off the stator on a two-stroke?
You don't want to run it the whole time, I wouldn't think.
You'd have a switch on the handlebar.
Yeah, I'm not an electrician, bud.
Anyway.
Yeah, no idea. I got that old 125 now though, so
Perfect.
Hey,
I could rip that up there.
Brown ride.
But no, I got it.
Down.
Maybe I'll get my hands on a 300 two-stroke. I've been saying that for years.
Yeah.
Probably my hands
You just
down
won a championship.
favorite
I bet
all-around
they'd
bike.
let you borrow one, and if they wouldn't, you got bigger issues on your end.
Champ gets what the champ
Yeah.
wants.
Nah, for sure. We'll see.
Right on.
Sweet.
Yeah.
What about
that
the
would be
off season? Like, you're still at club for the off season then?
I mean, I'll be around North Carolina area most likely.
Is that where you're at now,
Hanging
or are
out.
you up north?
Yeah, no, North Carolina. Be down here for a while and figure out the plan for next year and whatever training wise and everything else. And but yeah, still definitely plan to be a part of the club program. It's been pretty sweet, honestly. Definitely better than I expected and definitely a cool spot. You know, they do the open ride days. I definitely recommend anyone to go check those out in the winter
yeah.
because the tracks are pretty badass. So
Is there much woods down there? Y'all just riding moto and turn tracks?
no, they got a good portion of woods for us. You know, we got a bunch of different loops out there, like shorter ones, you know, 2 to 5 minutes, but
Beat the shit.
we could tie it all together. It could be like 10 minutes or so. So,
Dang.
I mean, that's pretty solid.
All of it's beat to hell.
Oh, yeah, it is.
Do you guys ever have
They've
any
taken the
moto
skid
guys?
steers out there once for us, but it's rough. It's rutted, but it's fun to ride, honestly.
Do you guys ever have any
you-
moto guys go out there and try to jump in with you, and like vice versa, you jump in with some of the guys riding some moto and some turn tracks on the sand loop?
Yeah. I mean, we ride with the moto guys a lot on the sand tracks and the moto tracks, and surprisingly, they've gone out there in the woods. Never when I've been there, but they've gone out there and they've done some riding. I'm not sure if it's the pro guys or the amateur guys, but yeah, they go out there and do some riding, and yeah, I'm sure some of them are pretty good. Some of them are like we're woods guys, you know. So kind of cool. That Mason Rayner kid who used to always race GNCCs down there, like training for moto and supercross. So
Yeah.
Yeah, he races
Yes,
like the full
pretty
gases
cool.
and stuff. So he still rides some off road.
Yeah,
Yeah.
They wait till you guys are gone, go down there and stretch your legs a little bit, see how it feels.
yeah,
So wait, you're in North Carolina now? How far from club are you?
I'm just hanging out near the lake at my girlfriend's place, and so it's nice. It's not far from club, so
Gotcha.
What lake?
yeah. You don't want to know, bro.
You're over at Lake Norman?
Go ahead and just screenshot us your GPS coordinates right now.
No.
I'm just kidding. No, just you said North Carolina, so I was like, oh dang, I didn't realize you were up this way. But
Yeah, no, just around Lake Norman, you know, the Charlotte area. It's kind of always where I've been when I've been down here, you know, like Hickory is similar, and then over near Caleb. So
do you like stay in a
if I'm not in
camper out at
Connecticut, I'm
the
over
club?
here. Nah, just been in like an apartment that they got there, and
Oh, okay.
When's the last
Kinda
time
was
you were
one of
down
those-
there? You, T-shirt.
So
Because
Ben-
they got houses everywhere.
yeah, Ben Graves is a good buddy of mine, and we kind of talked about coming down and doing some filming, and then everything got away from me this year. But yeah, it's been a while since I went to club. But yeah, they were building houses and cabins and stuff all over the place. They're doing a lot down
Yeah.
there.
for sure. I mean, it's its own little compound, which is kind of how it needs to be, and you know, it's a good spot if you're trying to race dirt bikes.
There's
But
nothing else down there.
no, I mean,
No.
how can you? But it's a dirt bike facility. Like
Yeah.
it's got to be in the middle of nowhere, otherwise noise complaints and it'll get shut down. So it's kind of one of those double-edged swords, You
Yeah.
got to sacrifice to go down there and do the work, and then if you want to live in town or something, you're gonna have to commute.
Yeah.
It is what it is.
Straight
Is
down
it Sand Hills?
74?
What was the old moto
Sand
track?
Hills.
We went
Yeah,
down to
Sand
Sand
Hills.
Hills. We left Ohio in like 2013 and went down there for a weekend. And my buddy got his tailgate stolen off his Power Stroke. It was like they couldn't steal anything
it might
else.
still be on that property. Then they got a few things on that Sand Hills property, but that moto track is still there. It's all overgrown, obviously, but kind of funny story. Like the owner let us rip up his cow pasture, kind of leading up to 6 days for some like grass track practice. So
Sweet.
Sick.
That's gnarly.
Yeah, they went through and cleared out old Sand Thrills. It's been years ago now, but they like redid it and like prepped everything and cut all the weeds down, and then people were riding out there for like a few weeks, and then it just got overgrown again. But it was a fun couple weeks there. Zacho's Sand Thrills legend. We were talking about that this weekend.
yeah.
But yeah, no. Like I said, appreciate you coming on. I don't want to take up the rest of your night. I didn't realize you were damn Lake Norman. We could walk outside and yell, and you'd probably hear us. But appreciate you coming on.
I didn't know you guys were up this way now.
Yeah,
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
right in Denver,
The Dirty D.
Okay, nice.
down the
Good.
road from Palmer's and the Beta Shop and all that. So,
All right, nice. Yeah, I'll get out my paddleboard. I'll start heading that way.
all right, cool.
Less traffic on the
We'll
lake.
we'll meet you. Soon. It might be a
yeah.
little chilly, but
If Tom's got a boat, he'll come pick you up.
Yeah,
Wow.
good deal.
well, sweet. I guess when you look back at this year, second championship, getting it done. What's going to be your overall sentiment when you look back at this year? Like, what was the 2025 race season for you as a whole?
Honestly, just it felt like a comeback season for sure. I still don't feel like I'm, at my new full potential, I guess you could call it. After all these injuries and stuff, you just figure out what your new normal is, and I don't feel like I'm there yet. But yeah, it's been, good to just have an off season, get through the full season, and have some just deal with the ups and downs again of racing and training full time. So yeah, just feels like the start of a comeback.
Ooh, them boys better watch out.
Oh yeah.
I think
Yeah,
we
we'll
came.
see.
I think
Everyone's ripping though nowadays. It's pretty cool. It's pretty wild. Like you can have a good race and be 10th.
Yeah.
It's crazy. Where back in the day, I remember times when in 2021 or something, like I'd have kind of an off race. I'd have like 5 crashes or something, and I'd still be on the podium somehow.
yeah.
And now I might have like a mistake where I lose 15 seconds and I go from second to 10th, and then that's where I finish. It's pretty cool, honestly. Just
Yeah.
the level's pretty high right now, and it's good for the sport, good for the manufacturers and everyone watching, and I just hope it continues to grow this way.
It creates a lot of parity, which is fun to watch.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And at a time with the most competition that we've seen, just like you're talking about, you're the one walking away with the number 1 plate. So congratulations on that, man. It's been a hell of a season. Cool to watch you go out there and do it. I know you had some solid national enduro rides this year as well. So good luck this coming weekend as you close that thing out in Alabama. And like I said, thanks for taking the time to chat with us, and maybe we'll see you up on Brown Mountain here after a little bit.
Yeah, for sure. Sounds good. Thanks, boys.
All right. Thanks, Ben.
See
We'll
you,
talk to you
man.
later.
See ya.
Yeah, have a good one.
So that was recently crowned 2-time champ Ben Kelley getting it done.